Today we're going to test the VO2, or the aerobic capacity of somebody. The way you measure that is actually measuring the oxygen that someone consumes and the carbon dioxide that someone produces. This machine is able to do that. It has sensors for oxygen and carbon dioxide. We're going to have Neville here do a running test, and as he goes harder and harder, we should see more oxygen consumed, more carbon dioxide produced. So right now I'm going to ask him what kind of speed he is so we can plug in the appropriate protocol and then give him a test from there. What I'm going to do now is calibrate this machine for oxygen and carbon dioxide. What it does is actually pulls out from the ambient air here the amount, and it calculates it based on what it should be. So I'm going to plug in what's known as these umbilical cords and then go ahead and calibrate it. It's going through the calibration now. Okay, we have Neville hooked up now with the mask. It's a neoprene mask. It's relatively flexible and comfortable, and any oxygen or carbon dioxide that he breathes in and out will be picked up by these sensors here. So what I'm going to have him do is make sure that he has this mask in an airtight fashion. So Neville, go ahead and pull out that nose and go ahead and push down on it as if you're spreading cream on your nose. Now also do a small test here where breathe in, Neville. I'm going to cover the out and then breathe out. Do you feel a lot of air coming by the nose thing, or just a small bit?
Yeah.
A little bit. So I want to go ahead and attach this a bit tighter, and let's try it one more time. And then breathe out. Is it a lot or just a little?
A little. Yeah.
So only a little bit was going by. So I'm satisfied with the seal on his mask. We're going to go ahead and start the test here. First, we're going to collect a stable heart rate, and we're starting to get it right now. This is actually a heart rate detector. Neville has a heart rate sensor. Go ahead and show him now. This is actually picking up his heart rate here. And we are getting a stable heart rate of 78, and this should let us know in just a little bit. So I'm satisfied with the heart rate back to 75, which is definitely a nice resting heart rate. And we're going to go ahead and start the protocol. Now what this will be is we're going to actually have the treadmill go faster and faster throughout this. But we start off at a speed of only 3 miles an hour, and we build up from there. After we reach 8 miles an hour, we're going to lift the grade. We're going to take him all the way up until he hits his VO2 max. And then we're going to have you not put your hands on there and try and walk as naturally as possible and breathe as naturally as possible. So we are starting to get some values here. Okay, we now have Neville up to 7 miles an hour on the treadmill. We're starting to see strong increases in his oxygen and carbon dioxide. His heart rate's starting to increase as well. And his fat is now going to start leveling off and even decreasing as he starts using more carbohydrates. So we're really starting to get him in the right zone here, but we still have a ways to go. Kick him up all the way up to his VO2 max. We now have Neville at 8 miles an hour. This will be the maximum speed he goes to, but from here on out, we're going to raise the treadmill in the incline, and actually at 3% per time. We'll get him tired before the day's out. We now have Neville in the high 150s, low 160s. This is close to his maximum heart rate. We also have him close to 1 on the RQ here, which means he's close to at his anaerobic threshold. Even if he has the max. We now his RQ. So he doesn't have too much left, but we have him in a great place to determine his VO2 maximum. Hanging it up. Do what you can. All right, we just finished the VO2. Neville was highly exhausted. He went beyond his anaerobic threshold, which is what we wanted. We predict his anaerobic threshold right about here, and he kept going. We also saw his heart rate sort of plateau and then increase again dramatically, and his fat curve did a very predictable curve right there. We also got him into the very high 180s, which I wouldn't have thought he could actually get that high with his heart rate. Excellent job, Noah.